All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. All right, here we go. Back to the realist segment of the week. I would say we got pretty real last episode talking about Graham though. That was cool. I really appreciate. I really enjoyed that. That was one of my more favorite segments we've done. But nonetheless, we are here, episode 18, to talk about the toughest quarterback situation of the week. Again, not a place you want to be, but we've all been there, and it makes you tougher. So we'll be all right. This week is our guy. Jackson Arnold, quarterback of the Oklahoma Sooners, probably the highest regarded school for quarterbacks in college football history. If you look at the dudes that have played that position and have shouldered the weight of being the starting quarterback at OU, I can't really think of another school that really even holds a candle to what OU has had, and at least in the last 20, 25 years.
Right.
So a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Almost expected to win the Heisman, just because they've had so many of them. But our toughest QB this week is Jackson Arnold. Talk to me while we picked him a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you're talking about redshirt freshman that had a lot of expectation behind his name. Okay. So there's rumblings in Norman and there's rumblings out there in college football that Dylan Gabriel was actually potentially pushed out a little bit from Oklahoma. You never know if that's true or not, but they pushed Russell Wilson out at NC State for old Mike Glennon, dude. So you never know, what, sometimes, and Mitch has talked about this a bunch over the last few weeks, is today's college football, you take who you got for granted a lot of the time. And, now Jackson Arnold steps into this role where he's a redshirt freshman, and it's just he hasn't had the opportunity with it all on his shoulders to really show you who he is yet. Incredible high school tape, incredible job in the Army All-American game and stuff like that. And we're not taking anything away from him. Demonstrates a skill set, doing all the right things, looks the part, can beat you with his arm and his legs, looks like a modern quarterback in 2024. But you're also up against it a little bit because you haven't played to your capability. Oklahoma is playing really good defense, and offensively, they just haven't established any continuity to this point. And you have a Tennessee football team that I think now they will be getting the respect that they deserve. But they're playing great two-way football with a great quarterback. And not only that, but there were major implications on the game as well because Heupel and Venables, I believe, went to Oklahoma together, or they both went to Oklahoma. And Heupel
Venables
won a national
was a coach, I believe, when Heupel was a player.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and Heupel, guys, won the national championship at OU. And basically got fired under Stoops, Bob Stoops. He got fired as the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. And I coached with Josh up at Mizzou, and so this is now well known. So I don't mind sharing it. It's just he definitely had some feelings about the fact that he got fired after winning a national championship as a quarterback there and feeling like he kind of got the short end of the stick on the way that things were handled in the season that he was calling plays. And so now to have this thing come back full circle to where they had the choice of Heupel or Venables, and they brought Venables there, and now Heupel has all this success at Tennessee. Tennessee and Heupel are rolling into Norman, Oklahoma for a big-time night game, on national television. It was really the game of the week. And you have a redshirt freshman against a redshirt freshman, and all things are even. And when you are in Norman, Oklahoma for a night game to start the season, you are expected to win that football game in Norman, Oklahoma. So a lot of expectations, a lot of eyes on the game. And I think that, if you guys watch college football, if you're aware of college football, and if you're on to us at this point already, I would assume that you're into college football, is we're really talking about a situation that you already know about. So the way that I wanted to handle this is it was a nightmare first half for Jackson Arnold. So what I want to do is I want to kind of treat Mitch as if he's Jackson Arnold. And we're going to talk about the game and just go through situationally how that first half of football went we all know Tennessee, beat them up pretty good. But how that first half went and riding the emotional roller coaster with Mitch. And if he shuts off his emotions on us, then I'll take over and actually tell you what he's feeling. But I think he'll do a pretty good job here. You see his face? Isn't that so cute? Every single time I bust his balls, he gets all sad like his puppy that's sitting across the room right now. It's pretty nice.
I'm just saying that I've literally shared my tears on here. Like, when have I ever shut those out? Like, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll.
You're right. You're right. So, okay. So now we get into the game. So just the bus ride over, bro. Just the bus ride over. Like, just take us into your head. You're getting ready to go play Tennessee in a night game at home. You got the old national championship winning quarterback coming here to coach against you. You know, there's a lot riding into the game, and you haven't had that continuity going. So what are you feeling on the bus? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, even before the bus, I think just, less of like who's the coach coming to play it, but really the other quarterback. It's a peer. That's another kid that's in your class, kind of at that same level at a big school, starting at a young age. And I'm sure they've competed at the Elite 11 and other camps across the country. I'm sure they shared offers and whatnot. But I'm sure they know each other, and this is the first matchup between them, and you want to win that matchup. They're going to play each other for the next 4 years in the SEC, and so you got that ride on you. That's definitely something in your mind. But we're on the way to we're on the bus ride over, and people are tailgating, and man, you can feel the energy. And it's a constant switch between really nervous and really excited. And you wish you could capture that really excited moment and just bottle it and just feel that way. I always felt like 2 hours before kickoff, I was like, if we kicked off right now, dude, let's fucking go. And then like an hour, you're like, oh, shit, here we go. I'm getting nervous. And then you just go back and forth as you get closer and closer. So that bus ride over is kind of like, all right, it's time. We're rolling. Here we go. And you go from you're a little nervous, and you see all the fans. You're like, oh, dude, it's about to be lit. It's about to be jumping. We're about to have the fellas are rocking. Like, let's go. And you get really excited. You get on that field, get a little bit nervous. You just go back and forth. So that's kind of what he's feeling on the bus ride as they're going from their hotel into Norman, into the stadium.
And now you've warmed up inside the stadium, dude. It's electric. Like, it's starting to get dark already outside. The lights are on. That thing's full in there. You look over and you see some big ass boys across the field, dude, because that's a Tennessee football team that's recruiting well and out of the South. And so their trenches on both sides of the ball, just like, that's what we always talk about. And the Big Ten has a bunch of them too now. But like, when SEC teams roll off the bus, dude, like, that's just the trenches, especially the LSUs, the Auburns, the Alabamas, these teams like Georgia, they look the part. So Jackson Arnold standing out there. These guys look the part. The stage is set. Here we go. You get the national anthem, and then you get that drum up for kickoff, dude, and you guys are getting the ball. So, like, as you take the field for that first drive, Mitch, just what's going on, dude? What's going on in the juices right now?
Yeah, it's the start of the chaos, and the most nervous I ever got, was when that coach is telling you the play.
Yeah,
I hated that little huddle before. I'm like, bro, I hate that. I hate it because everything is built up to right there.
Right.
You get the play call from the guy who's talking to the. Well, I guess I don't know if they do that anymore because they're connected, but whatever.
Now they're on it.
Do.
Yeah.
You get the play call. You get the play call from your coach, and you relay it to your guys. Ready, break, and you jog out there, and you just hear it kind of rising. The levels are rising. It's getting a little louder, even though you're on offense. You get out there and you see the defense. The first snap, you're just like, all right, what are they doing? Like, what are we? Is anything looking nuts? Like, is everything looking normal? And then you kind of start piecing together. Like, all right, I watched that guy on tape. Okay, I know these guys. I'm good to go. That first snap hits. I'm sure they ran the ball. First snap hits, and it's gone like that. It's like, oh shit, we're in it. Look to the sideline, get the next play. But that build up for those 10 seconds, you take the field and you feel that energy just rise. Man, it's a great feeling. But as soon as the ball snapped, you're ready to roll.
Totally, and you're always thinking, like, let this start the right way. Like, let this start the right way.
Yes.
And, and lots of things go down, right? Your left tackle gets beat and defensive end drills you on the first snap of the game, or guy drops a ball, or you miss a throw. Like, it starts you down that, like, fuck, we got to reverse this right now. Or the other way. Like, you throw a hitch and the corner comes up and fans on the tackle and the guy runs for 15 yards and you're like, let's fucking go, dude. Here we go. So it's always that first down that kind of gets you the momentum going. Well, Oklahoma got
Sure.
their first
Of
down.
course.
It was a nice couple plays that they scripted up to start the game. They get out to about the 50-yard line. I think they were on the 40. They're on 40, and they get to the 48-yard line, and it's 4th and 2. And Venables is like, "Dude, we're here to win. Like, let's go for this. Like, let's make this happen." And Jackson Arnold drops back. They don't convert. So Tennessee takes over on the 50-yard line to start the game, which is brutal at home because, like, now the team that's on the road without momentum has the ball in plus territory or the 50-yard line to start their first drive. And then Oklahoma plays damn good defense like they did most of the night, and Tennessee has to punt. Oklahoma gets the ball back. As they field that, they go 3 and out. So you have a 4th down missed conversion. Then you have a 3 and out. Then you punt the ball back to them. Your defense shows up again. Oklahoma's defense is on fire, guys. They're playing Brent Venables' defense. The building's juiced, but you had an opportunity to capitalize offensively on some of that momentum, and you haven't done that yet. Third drive, you get a first down, then he throws a really bad interception into double coverage. And the defense shows up for him, and Tennessee kicks a field goal. Tennessee's up 3-0, but the truth is that we've squandered opportunities. We've not played the way we want to, and it's 3-0, probably should be 10-0-ish, but we kind of squandered that opportunity. So just after the first 3 drives of the game like that, finishing with a bad pick, Mitch, kind of just what's going on in the head at that time now.
Yeah, especially when you're playing a really good offense like Tennessee and you get stops, right? So you get a few stops. So like after that first drive, you get a few plays in and you punt the ball or you turn the ball over 4th down. But you're like, all right, I'm settled in. We've got a few first downs. We're good. Defense gets a stop, man. You are on fire. You're like, oh shit, let's go. We got a big time stop. I'm settled in. Let's go fucking score. Like, let's roll. 3 and out. And it's frustrating. Like, damn it, man, we had a good opportunity there. They get a stop. Then you go 3 and out again. So now you start, or maybe it was the pick at that point, right? So you throw that pick, right? And was it 2 3 and outs before the pick?
2 3 and outs before you had the 4th and 2 that they didn't get. Then you had a 3 and out.
2 3 and out.
And then on the third drive,
Okay.
like your defense has stopped them twice now. The place is going nuts. And you throw a bad pick like in your own territory.
Okay.
And still your defense holds for you though.
Exactly. So after that second stop, right, you get the ball back. And now you're like, all right, our defense has gotten 2 stops versus a great offense. You almost feel like, all right, we got to do our part here. We have to fucking score. We have to score. So now there's almost an elevated pressure from within your own self because you've gotten 2 stops. And your defense has done their job, and you want to reward them. So you got to get in the end zone. The last thing you want to do is throw a pick. And you throw a pick. The worst thing you can do because you've gotten your stops, dude. You've gotten your stops. And you want to reward the defense for their hard work. You got to put up points and make their stops mean something because you're not going to stop Tennessee all night. And you throw a bad pick. So now the frustration, starts to turn into a little bit of panic because you know that you just threw a pick. You're playing Tennessee. If they score, you're down 10-0. And you're going to be playing catch-up versus probably one of the most potent offenses in America for the rest of the night. And you've already cut yourself into a hole. Yep. And you've thrown a pick in the biggest game of your career up to this point. So a little bit of panic is for sure setting in here. And it's a tough situation to be because when you're down 10-0, you got to kind of be a gunslinger and go make some plays. But you've already thrown that pick, and you don't want to throw a second one because that second one could lead to a third one.
You throw that pick. You throw that pick. You guys hold. Tennessee kicks a field goal. It's 3-0. Then OU gets 2 first downs, gets into plus territory. They kick a field goal. So it's 3-3.
Yep.
You're kind of like you've halfway dug yourself out of that hole. It's 3-3, and then Nico throws a beautiful ball, bro, on a bang post. Safety inserted downhill and just led him on his upfield shoulder, and the dude took off the opposite goalpost for about a 65-yard touchdown. So now Tennessee has a little bit of juice. It's 10-3 because that big play. You take the field and you go 3 and out again, right? So 10-3, you go 3 and out. Tennessee gets the ball back on their freaking – it was – where'd they get the ball back? They got the ball on – let's see here. Yep, they got the ball at their
10,
own
right?
at their own 15, own 10-yard line. Yeah, and Tennessee gets sacked. Okay, and they fumble. So Tennessee is up 10-3 right now, and you go 3 and out, and they fumble on their own 10-yard line, and OU gets the ball on the 5-yard line, first and
Yep.
goal to go score. And setting it a little bit deeper before Mitch goes is it's like, this is a gift because you do not deserve
Oh,
this situation. It should already be 14-0, 21 to something.
yep.
Like, you guys have not started this game well at home. You guys have not done what you needed to do. And your defense is playing so well against a good Tennessee offense that you force that turnover. And now OU gets the ball on the 5-yard line, first and goal from the 5 at home to tie this thing up with all momentum now at our back. And on the first play, dude, they call a fake toss, like fake same side toss, quarterback power. And basically, guard pulls around, like they get a halfway kick out. It's kind of muddy, but dude gets wrapped up. And as he's going to the ground, he fumbles the football on first down. First off, Mitch, like, how bad of a no-no is that in that situation? Just talk them through circumstantially, like what you're thinking for that to even happen and, what the implications of that mistake are.
I mean, especially when you're playing Tennessee's offense, that's a 14-point swing because you took 7 off your end, and you're probably going to give them 7 or at least 3
Right.
with that momentum. And I know they're
Right.
starting deep in their territory, but that's a huge swing. I mean, that's a huge swing. And yeah, I mean, when you get that fumble, it's like, oh, thank God. Like you without even having to make a great play, you score there, and all of a sudden you feel like you're the shit. You're like, oh hell yeah, I'm here to play, and you get that confidence back within yourself. And you might have thrown like you might have handed the ball off, but that confidence is back, right? That confidence is back. Now that game is the place is starting to rock. You're tied up, clean slate, feeling yourself. All right, let's get this game started over. Let's go. And bro, to fumble that and to give those points up and just to give them that momentum back. Oh my gosh, it's a no-no, and I've done it, dude. We were at Clemson, 0-0 in the first quarter, and we get a fumble on their 5-yard line, and we don't score. Like, first down, we run it for like a yard. Second down, throw it away. Third down, we run it again. No one we're going for on fourth down. Fourth and goal from like the 2. Dude, I'm going through my whole progression. Everybody's covered, scrambling, about to throw a touchdown. As I'm about to throw it, I get destroyed from behind, and the ball just goes straight out of the back of the end zone. And, like, as I'm throwing it, I'm like, oh, I'm about to throw a touchdown versus Clemson to take the lead. Let's go. And I just got hit in the last second. And walking off that field knowing we didn't get points, you just felt like you lost the game right there. Because when you're playing, at least for us, we were playing a team like Clemson, you had to have those points. And when you're playing a big-time game like Tennessee, big-time team like Tennessee, who can score at will, bro, those are give me points. And we lost the game by 5. And it's just it's stuff like that, man.
Just when you play football for long
ahead.
enough, like you just know the laws of the game at this point, and it's like know that now the game's laws are against you, and like that's
exactly. The odds, the numbers,
that mounting pressure is just there. So you turn the ball over there. And also now is where the voices in your head start to get really loud. Like, you've made mistakes. You guys are clearly the unit that's not playing well. This is now the time where you start to hear, a defender come off the field and go, what the fuck, guys? Like, are you gonna do something? Like, you gonna do something because they've stood tall. Like, honestly, like, you don't ever want to see that on the same sideline, but like they kind of have a right to say something to you, dude. You guys are not only not doing your job, like you are the opposite of doing your job. You are giving them opportunities to succeed, and your defense is standing on its head. So they fumble that ball right away, right? So now it's again, the score is still 10-3. They fumble, and OU, you said like probably a good opportunity to go score here. I agree with you, but OU stands tall again. Plays great defense, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee gets a couple first downs, basically has a booming punt, and these guys get the ball back. And after that fumble, they get the ball back on their own 4-yard line, okay? And it's 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line. OU's on their own 4. Like, Mitch, you're jogging back out there, dude. You just fumbled. You've had a bunch of 3-and-outs. You had a terrible interception. You're on your own 4-yard line. Tennessee travels pretty well, so you probably got a little bit of noise going on even in your own home stadium. What is the thought process as you take the field there backed up in your own end zone? Like, what does that look like to you?
You know, I'm just gonna be so real, dude. Like, it happened. I can literally picture that, bro. We're playing at home versus Florida State, and we get the ball at our own 1 yard line. I think at this point it's like a 10-7 game. It's close, and bro, all you can think about is I cannot give him this football right here. Like, no safeties. Let's get out of the end zone. Because, dude, it's such a weird feeling being back there. You have no space behind you. You are in the thick of it, and there's really no way out. You are in it. And all you can think about is, man, just don't turn the ball over. Let's get a few first downs. And if at worst we punt it away with a few first downs, give ourselves more space for the punt. But at best we put together a drive and go score, which a 99-yard drive sets the tone for the rest of that game. But, man, especially where he's at with 2 bad turnovers, he's going out there. He's not even thinking about making a play. He's thinking about, I just can't fuck up. He's just.
And as he's thinking about, he can't fuck up. He's thinking too much. There's a lot going on. He hit a false start, dude. And we know that I'm not blaming Jackson Arnold for the false start, but we also know that when a quarterback's going through all that shit, like, his cadence gets a little bit shakier, like things are a little dude, you don't have that mojo, bro. That flow is just not with you. And so, like, as you do that, you guys jump. Now it's half the distance. You go back to your own 2 yard line. You turn around in the pistol, hand the ball off, and Jason Jenkins gets fucking blasted in the end zone, and you get a safety. So now, like, once again, the shit that I was saying about what the defense would be saying to you at that point, like, is now it's a 12-3 game. And truly your defense has played well enough for this to be a 3-3 game. And you guys offensively have screwed this up just consistently. And now here's where the laws of football start to kick in, is it's like, okay, guys, like, if you're going to play this shitty today, like, here we go. So Tennessee gets the punt off of a safety, and they score like 5 plays later. And now you're looking at 19-3. Prior to that, it was 10-3, and you had the ball. Fuck it up again, safety, then kick it to them. They go score a touchdown. It's 19-3, and you get the ball back. What does that look like, bro?
Fortunately, it's a little far too familiar. But it's just a feeling of, obviously, you're still in the game. You know, there's plenty of time left. You can make a comeback. But the feeling of, it's very hard to stay settled in, and it's very hard to understand in the moment that I'm not going to win the game on one play, and I need to start taking this one play at a time. Put together a drive, score a touchdown. It's going to take drives and stops. You're not going to score 16 points in one play. You also have a sense of feeling that you want to make up for your mistakes. So you do want to hit a big play. You do want to throw a touchdown. You want to kind of erase and give yourself a clean slate after you've had 2 turnovers. And but man, it's a tough feeling. Just when you're on the sideline, knowing you guys can't.
But before you call it too tough, dude, let me just continue to paint the next drives. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's 19-3. You get the ball back. You go on first down, the first play of the drive, and you go to throw like a check swing, like late in the play. And the way you release the ball goes backwards.
Yeah.
And Tennessee scoops it up for like a 20-yard loss. And it is on the quarterback. Like, there's no other way to cut it. So as an offensive coordinator here, guys, like, you have had a quarterback who threw a bad interception, then fumbled on the 5-yard line going into score on first down in the situation that you couldn't allow that to happen. Not blaming Jackson Arnold, but again, the we go as the offense goes. Like, we're responsible for that. So you come out the next drive on your own 4-yard line, false start, and a safety. Then you throw a backwards pass that goes for a 21-yard loss. You've literally turned the ball over 4 times and played worse than even just those 4 turnovers. And it's 19-3, and you're sitting there after Tennessee scores, and you get the ball back with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the first half. You're already have accounted for 4 turnovers. Just Where's your head at, Mitch? What are you thinking? Down 19-3. You're getting booed at home now. 19-3. A minute and 40 seconds left in the first half. Where are you at now?
Man, now you just had a like when a play like those backwards passes happen, right? That's just the football gods, paying you back for the mistakes you've already made because they gotten away with some mistakes, and these are just the football gods making it even, and it's just one of those plays, and when your back doesn't catch it and it just keeps fumbling backwards, you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like the panic almost kind of stops, and it's just a sense of like, what the hell is going on? Like, how did we get here? Like what? I remember having that feeling versus ODU when we went down 17-0 at half. And then we get coming out of halftime, we score, and then like a pick six, like a crazy pick. Like I get hit, the ball goes straight in the air, they return it for a touchdown. And I remember just getting to the sidelines and be like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And I remember like looking at me. I remember just like not looking at myself because I couldn't see myself, but just thinking to myself like, God dang, dude, this is just a game from hell. This is one of those games from hell. But you got to keep fighting. You got to get back on the saddle and keep going. And it's hard. But it almost like, in a way, honestly, in those games, when you're at that point, it kind of calms you down. I remember feeling that way versus ODU. Like, the panic just stopped. And I just was like, all right, dude, what the hell is going on? Nothing is going right for us. It can't get any worse than this.
That's it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's ball. And
That's
dude, you watch the second half of that game, dude. I throw some egregious passes, and I got lucky. But I threw some passes that I fit in there, and I got lucky. And both sides of the coin, we came back and won. But it was because I just stopped giving a fuck, and I didn't stop trying, dude. I played with fucking broken ribs. I was concussed. I played through it all. I fucking fought my ass off that game. That's the most proud I've ever been after a football game. I'm down and I'm hurt and I can't breathe, and I finished that game, and we won. But bro, you just stop giving a fuck when you're on the mat. Hands and knees after a pick six with your ribs just cracked. Can't breathe, spitting up blood, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening today?
Yeah.
You got to get back off the mat. So that's kind of when those feelings.
So let's add a little bit of spice to that. You just hit that feeling. Jackson Arnold's like, all right, dude, can't get any worse than this. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just go play. Let's go restart this. And Seth Luttrell calls down from the box and goes, hey, tell Jackson we're putting Michael Hawkins out there for this drive. And you don't play another snap the rest of the football game. What's the feeling? You've talked about it before, so we can go brief on that feeling of watching the other guy run out there. But talk about hands in your hand warmer, if that, just sitting there with your helmet off for the second half. After going into the season, guys, he had Heisman odds around his name. Like, He had people talking about this guy being the guy, and he's got a long career ahead of him. He's only a redshirt freshman. But, like, that long career feels like a very short career on Saturday. So, Mitch, what do you think he's feeling, and just how does that lead into what he's feeling today on Monday of this week?
Yeah, it's tough, especially when he's young. He's only 3-4 games into his career. Like, oh, it's devastating, dude. Like when you hear that from your coach, you just freeze. Like you're just like, wait, what? You just can't believe it. You're just like, oh shit, I really just got pulled. Like I'm not going back out there. And like, yeah, the next offensive possession starts, and not everybody knows on the sideline that happened. Like, no. Not everybody knows, like, because they don't announce it on the stadium. Hey, we're not putting Jackson Arnold back in. It's like, right. When you're on the sideline, bro, people are like, hey, are you good? Like, what's up? Like, did you get hurt? And you're like, no. And bro, that sucks. When people are like, bro, is it your head? Is it your head? Is it your ribs? You asked me that question at Virginia Tech. You came all the way down. I said, is it your head?
Yeah, I said, what's wrong? Like, is it your head? What's going on? And you're like, bro, I just got pulled. And I was like,
yeah, bro. And having to answer that question like 50 times on the sideline, like, bro, is like my teammates knew I went to that game concussed, but I wasn't coming out. I was playing, so they're all like, "Oh, is it your head?" And I had to look at me. I was like, "Bro, I got yanked. Like, I just got pulled." And because it's not even an option when you go into that game. It's like, all right, I want to go in there, win this game, and play my ass off. And then it's like, all right, well, if we lose, at least I want to give my team a shot. Like, I want to go out there, compete my ass off, give my team a shot, and win this game. You don't even think about losing. You don't even think about playing bad. And the last thing you even imagine is getting pulled. It's like, dude, 3 hours ago I was warming up to win this game, and now I'm watching it. it's just such an out-of-body experience, and then you're just sitting on the sideline. In my case, the first time, relieved, and then the second time, just devastated. And how's he feeling on a Monday, going into a Tuesday practice? And this is when a coach can come into play and really help a kid out. Because naturally, you're going to feel like, well, I can't fuck up ever again, or I'm getting yanked.
Right.
You're no longer playing to win. You're playing not to fuck up. And this is when a coach can come in and be like, hey, dude, it wasn't your night, but you're our guy. I don't want you to play scared. I don't want you to play not to fuck up. I want you to go out there and be the gunslinger you are. Let it rip, and we trust you. And you kind of got to give those keys back to him. And almost in a way, like when you see him not do that, be like, hey, listen up, kid. Like, I'm telling you, throw that ball. Like, fit that in there. I've seen you do it. You can do it. And that really, it can come from yourself, but it takes a strong kid to do that. And at 20 years old, that's hard to do. It's hard to do at 23. And, but man, it's a lonely feeling because everybody knows who you are, Norman. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows you got benched. Everybody knows you didn't play well. It's the cross we bear as a starting quarterback in college football. So you signed up for it. But it's hard because he probably had classes today, right? He's walking around campus. He's getting food somewhere, right? He's not just sitting in his house. And the hardest thing is you got to face your team on Sunday. Who takes those reps at the Sunday walkthrough? You don't know. You're not going to ask the coach after the game. You want to get the hell out of there, see your parents, and just hide.
You're not making eye contact for a couple of days with that OC and with your head coach.
Bro, no. Hell no. Hell no. Because you, in a way, you also feel cheated. You're like, you thought that guy's a better shot than me to win the fucking game?
Right.
Now you don't believe in me? Now
Well
you're pissed off. After the emotions are gone and the embarrassment, you're just pissed off. It's like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but you didn't call the best game. I didn't pull you.
Right.
I've had those thoughts after I got yanked. It's like, bro, I got pulled. We scored 0 points. Scored 0 points after I got pulled in both games. Like, is it me?
Right.
Like, what's going on here? So you have a feeling it goes from embarrassment to pissed off to, bro, I'm gonna go defend myself here. I'm not perfect. I fucked up. I fucked up many a times. I lost his games. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say it. But it's like, it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he feels that way too. So it's just like a whole just 360 of emotions. And it's also like, now I got to look my defensive players in the eyes after they gave up. They played their asses off versus a great offense. It's tough, man.
No, it's a brutal situation. And that's why, we always finish this thing with like suggestions or just like what we feel or what we would do in these moments. And like, we talk a lot about perspective, and like Mitch has been on the journey with me where it's really just about rewiring our perspective through asking ourselves difficult questions and using leverage with ourselves, like while we're being real with ourselves. And, my suggestion to Jackson would just be like exactly what we said during the game, which is it can't get any worse. And you've literally gone from the expectations are that you're going to compete for the Heisman Trophy and national championship to now the expectation is you're dog shit and that you're not going to be able to make plays. So you've gone from carrying the weight of expectation on your shoulders, whether you saw it that way or not, like that's, what can be implicated based on everything that was going on, to now the expectations are you're just a redshirt freshman that sucks, that's not ready for the moment. And I think that that's a great leverage point to, as I've said on here multiple times, like the best football or the most free football that I ever played in my college career was as a true freshman. And it's because like I felt, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, that the fans in the stadium and the coaches in the locker room, like that they all were like, hey, we're going to ride with him. And we know he's going to fucking make mistakes and we know he's going to make plays too. So we're with you, Austyn. Like, do your thing. And it was just such a liberating feeling because I was like,
exactly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I'm 18. I'm going to make mistakes. Like, let's go fucking play football and let's have some fun. And you play better a lot of the times because of it. You're 100%. Less delayed in your reactionary time on decision making because you just trust yourself. You just trust yourself because even if I throw a pick here, I'm just a freshman. Like, my coach doesn't care. Like, these people expect that from me. Like, Jackson Arnold, I think, probably had the weight of playing better than Dylan Gabriel, winning games because Venables has not had a great start to his OU career. And kind of taking on that narrative to now the narrative is that you guys are a dog shit offense and that you're nothing like anybody thought that you were going to be. So it can, if he has the right people in his club and the people that are talking to him, like it can get you to that place of liberation that maybe had you played better and you lose a tight game to Tennessee, that feeling keeps going And then
Yeah.
it's like later in the season, it happens in an even bigger game. Whereas like now you can kind of sit here and just lay in your own blood for a second and just go, dude, like we're still 3-1. We're still 3-1.
Yeah.
Like we're playing great defense.
Yeah.
So as long as they don't take this job away from me right now, like I can sit here and kind of come out here and just go, dude, the expectations have been, this is as bad or as bloody of a start as it could have been. And we're still 3-1. Like we're still
Yeah.
three
Right.
and one. And I have a
Right.
lot out in front of me. So, Mitch, to finish the episode, just what would your words say? I mean, of course, you're going to copy me on 90% of it, but what would your words to him be, in this situation?
Yeah, just perspective. I'm on the other side of it, and you can tell Jackson Arnold that in 2 years from now, or a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll be thankful that this happened. You really will be, because everything is a lesson if you learn from it. There's no failures. It's just opportunities to grow. So when you are at Tennessee next year, and you can just laugh it off because you've grown so much. And that's where I'm at right now in my journey. After everything I've been through, I'm thankful. I wouldn't change a single thing. I'm glad it happened because it's made me so much tougher and given me such a different perspective. So if shit hits the fan in a football game in the future, all right, bro, been here before. I'm ready to roll. And you just kind of just become unfazed, and you kind of become numb to it all, and it helps you grow. So just put some – right now it feels like the end of the world. But a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll be thankful it happened, and you'll laugh about it. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the journey.
Jackson, I think you should call me, brother. That's what I think.
No doubt. I do too.
Guys, well, that concludes a boring week of college football in week 4. And with just the games on the slate next week, dude, and some of these quarterback matchups, I expect some explosive firepower. And I'm stepping back into the United States. Not going to be in this beautiful London cabin for many days longer, and I'm fired up to get back and get to work and continue to feed and serve you guys and continue to kind of expand, just the direction of the podcast and the things that Mitch and I are talking about just overall in terms of getting into some nitty gritty detail on some segments. And Mitch, to finish this, you conclude us out, but what segments do you want the people to see? And ultimately, what do you think the people want to see?
Yeah, I think I'm excited just to kind of obviously talk about the things that are real and the emotions behind football. But man, me and Austyn have played a lot of snaps, and Austyn coached for a long time. We've seen a lot of football in our day. We'd love to just broaden the horizon, football 101, teach you guys the game, teach you guys scenarios, teach you guys situations, X's and O's, all that stuff, because that's just as important. It's probably not as important, but it's very important as a quarterback. You have to know your stuff. And just continue to get into the weeds, man, of the stuff that everybody feels, the stuff that everybody goes through, and just kind of bringing words to it, bringing light to it, bringing faces to it, bringing other faces to it that show you that you're not alone in the feelings that you feel. I'm just excited to keep diving into stuff, and as we grow, we'll keep making more episodes and getting into more topics of conversation and releasing more stuff each week. And I'm just hoping you guys grow and serving for you guys and being the light that we both needed. And obviously I had one, and I'm very thankful for him. But just continue to grow for you guys and serve.
Expect fireworks and shit going off like that thing over my head, all right? we're gonna bring it. I love you, Mitch. That's a hell of a
Love you,
week.
brother.
And we'll see you next week. All right, guys. See ya.
Let's do it.